Hey everybody, welcome to the week 8 quiz access chapter 4. Anyway, so I just wanted, this is problem number 2. I wanted to walk through this. A few people had asked questions about it, so here I go. So it tells us that we need to prepare the journal entries to record the following transactions for a retail store. And it tells us that the company uses a perpetual inventory system and the gross method. So the first thing I always want to know here is like, what role am I fulfilling? Am I the purchaser or the seller of stuff? And it looks like we're the purchaser, right? We're recording purchases, purchase returns, and purchase allowances. So I'm the purchaser, and that will help me know the type of entries I need to enter. Second thing I want to know is, are we using a perpetual inventory system or a periodic inventory system? And in this case, it's perpetual. It tells us that, which means we're recording each of these purchase transactions right to our inventory. So we'll be increasing our inventory as we make the entry. And then the third question is the gross method or the net method. And the gross method is what we'll be using here. Gross doesn't mean it's disgusting, although I'm sure some of you probably find this class and specifically this section right here disgusting, but it's not what it means. The gross method means that we're going to record our costs at the full cost, regardless of any discounts we may be taking in the future. Other companies use a net method where they record the discounted price and then adjust it if they don't take the discount and they pay the gross. Really what happens in real life is if it's the company's habit to not take the discount most of the time, then they'll usually record things with the gross method and only make the adjustment if they do take the discount. Or the correction maybe would be another word. Whereas companies who generally do take the discounts will go ahead and use the net method, record as if they always do, and then only make a correction or adjustment if they decide not to take the discount. Anyway, so that was a huge lead in, but let's get started. On April 2nd, we purchased $5,000 of merchandise from Lion Company with credit terms of $215 net 60. Remember, $215 means we get a 2% discount if we pay within 15 days. And then the net 60 means that we have 60 days to pay. So if we pay within 15 days, we get 2% off. If we pay within 16 to 60 days, we just pay the whole price. And it's freight on board or FOB shipping point, which means in essence that it becomes our property once they send it to us. So we're going to go ahead and enter this as $5,000. So the two accounts we're dealing with here is, first of all, we're going to do merchandise inventory because our inventory will be going up by 5,000. And then we're going to credit accounts payable to Lion, 5,000. We'll go ahead and record our entry and move on to the next one. We paid $240 cash for shipping charges on our April 2nd purchase. So when we're the purchaser, we're going to include those shipping charges as part of the cost of our inventory. So we're going to debit the merchandise inventory account. So again, that's an asset and we're increasing it. Remember, the merchandise inventory account doesn't show us how much the asset is worth. It shows us how much it cost. So we're going to include not only the cost we paid for the inventory back in one, but we're also going to debit the cost of getting it shipped to us. And then we're going to credit. It says we paid cash, so we're going to credit cash. Number 3, we return to Lion Company unacceptable merchandise that had an invoice price of $800. So we're sending it back to them. So that means that our accounts payable is going to go down, right? They're going to give us our money back. But since we haven't paid them, they're just going to reduce the amount of our account payable. And then we're going to reduce the amount of our merchandise inventory. Why? Because we don't have it in inventory anymore. We sent it back. We'll record our entry. Step 4, we sent a check to Lion Company for the April 2nd purchase, net of the discount and the returned merchandise. So here we have to recognize that since we sent it on April 2nd, and we made, let's see, we made the original purchase. Oh, sorry, this is for the April, this is April 17th. So we're paying it within the 15 days. So we're going to get a 2% discount. But we can't get a discount on all of it because we returned some of it. If you remember back in 3, we returned $800 worth. So I'm going to take the amount I originally purchased, or the cost of it, I should say, minus $800. So I owe them $4,200. That's the amount of my accounts payable at this point. And now I'm going to take a 2% discount of that. So there's a couple ways to do this. Some people like to multiply this by 2% and then subtract that amount from the 4,200. That works. The other way to do it is to multiply this by 0.98 or 98%, which would give us the amount minus the discount. So that's what I usually do. So if I owe 4,200 and I'm going to get a 2% discount, I multiply it by 100% minus 2% or 0.98, and that tells me the amount I'm going to have to pay, $41.16. So we're going to show our accounts payable to Lion is going to go down by the whole amount that we owe them, okay, which is 4,200. Remember, it's a liability, so it goes down by debiting it. And we know that we're going to pay cash of the amount less the discount. Remember the amount, the amount less the discount that I just figured out was 41.16. So somewhere in here, right, is the amount of our discount. And so that is 4,200 minus 41.16 is $84. And now we're not going to put discount or anything like that. We're just going to reduce the cost of our merchandise inventory. Why? Well, because we didn't pay a full 4,200 for our merchandise inventory. We paid 41.16 for it. So any discount, we are just going to record as a credit to merchandise inventory. All right, we purchased $9,300 of merchandise from Frisk Corp with credit terms 110 net 30. And this one is FOB destination, okay, which means we don't own it until it gets to us, which usually means the person selling it to us is going to pay for the cost of the shipping. So again, we use the gross method. So I'm just going to do merchandise inventory, 9,300, and accounts payable to, what is it, Frist? Yeah, Frist. Looks like it says first, but it says Frist. We'll record that entry. After negotiations over scuffed merchandise received from Frist, a $500 allowance toward the $9,300 owed on the April 18th purchase. So here they're giving us an allowance. We're not sending back the merchandise. In fact, we're going to keep it and we're going to sell it. We'll probably have to sell it at a discounted price to our customers because it's scuffed. So when we get this allowance, we are going to, let's see, we're going to, let me think about this one for a minute. So the amount that we have to pay them, so the accounts payable to Frist is going to go down by 500. And again, the cost of our inventory is going down. So we're going to credit merchandise inventory. Now, in this case, we're not getting rid of inventory. We're not sending it back. But remember, this amount is our cost. So because they gave us 500 back, then we're going to say that inventory cost us 500 less than what we had originally recorded. Finally, on April 18th, we are going to pay them. And again, if we purchased it on April 18th, sorry, this is on April 28th, so we paid for it 10 days later. This thing has terms of 110 net 30. So we pay within the 10 days, we're going to get a 1% discount. So again, we know that we want our accounts payable to Frist to go down by the whole amount we owe them. And if you remember, we originally credited that account 9,300. That's the amount we owed. And here we debited that account 500. So 8,300 or 9,300 minus 500 means we still owe them $8,800. So we want to debit all 8,800. Whoops. So that there will be no more accounts payable to Frist. We're paying it off. And we know we're going to pay cash of some amount less than that because we got a 1% discount. So if we want, we can say 8,800 times 0.01. That would give us the amount of well, I should have done 8,800 times 0.98, and that tells us how much we have to pay, which is 86.24. Oh, I did 9.8. You know what? It's 9.9 because it's only a 1% discount. Sometimes it's good to catch your own mistake, right? And then the difference between these two would be the amount of discount we got, which in this case looks like it is what? $88, which is 1%. And that's going to be another decrease to our cost. So we're going to credit it to merchandise inventory. I'll record that entry. Now I'll use a check my work, see if I screwed anything up, which is quite possible because sometimes I do that. It's telling me my answer is not complete, which, oh, it looks like here I didn't credit cash. So that's cool. I'll go back and fix it since I know everything else is right. That's not going to let me do it here. I have to go to the journal entry worksheet, credit cash, record my entry. And now when I check my work, I should be good. All right, complete and correct. So I hope that was helpful to you. And I know your numbers will be different, but hopefully the process was valuable to you.